My advice to Mr. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, our dear President of Federal Republic of Nigeria, having watched what is happening in Nigeria in recent times, I felt the urge as a patriotic Nigerian to plead with the federal government to settle NNAMDI Kanu and other agitators matters out of court by setting up a formidable national committee of arbitration.
Yes, depending on your time zone and your location. Tata exactly 6 days call for Abani C call for MAZI NNAMDI Kanu's court trial to resume at the Abuja court. That is on the 13th of June 2025. Any this postponements, that data is actually here, and it's next week Friday. This court hearing Yebido. So the case will actually hold on the 13th, which is next week, 6 days from now. And we have an update from MAZI Aloy EJIMAKOR barrister, MAZI NNAMDI Kanu's legal team. He made an update, and that is what I bring to you guys. But before I go through that update in full, one of Nigerian senior advocate Mohammed Ndarani Mohammed has actually come out to call out the federal government of Nigeria and Tinubu to actually sit down and have a roundtable talk and look for a way to free MAZI NNAMDI Kanu. Yes, this is an update coming from a son, a senior advocate of Nigeria. I'll read you guys the update, but before I go into that, let me actually bring you guys to speed what barrister MAZI NNAMDI Kanu Aloy EJIMAKOR posted on his official Twitter handle a few hours ago. He actually posted this update. They found Jessica Mjemargodo this Mohammed Ndarani. Then I went through my Google to know actually who this man is. And then I found out that this man is actually a senior advocate of Nigeria and also an advocate for justice for Original Inhabitants Development Association of Nigeria. So that is who the man is. For some Namahonye the man. So the man actually called for the release of MAZI NNAMDI Kanu yesterday in a press release. So from the update Aloy EJIMAKOR dropped on screen again now. He said a senior advocate of Nigeria, Mohammed Ndarani, has urged the federal government to adopt arbitration, conciliation, and mediation in resolving the case of NNAMDI Kanu, citing Section 17 of the Federal High Court Act. So this was actually what MAZI Aloy EJIMAKOR posted on its official Twitter handle, because the man was actually saying that this court case all the time, that it will not bring a lasting solution to this MAZI NNAMDI Kanu's case. MAZI NNAMDI Kanu is not doing the wrong thing. Self-determination is not a crime. Even in the Nigerian constitution, it's not a crime that you want your own nation abroad. A crime anywhere in the world, even in the Western world. So this was what the man was actually trying to explain to the government, calling for a roundtable talk, like he's calling for arbitration, conciliation, and mediation. So I want you guys to watch the video from beginning to the end. From the horse's mouth. Go see where Tinubu direct, because he said, I'm directing this message, this speech to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the government of Nigeria. So watch the video, drop your opinion in the comment section. Then you need to share this video so that others will see this video. Brought today gave you the power for the release of MAZI NNAMDI Kanu. A lot of people, a lot of clergies, a lot of prominent men, a lot of politicians, both dead and living, have been calling for the release of MAZI NNAMDI Kanu. The likes of Afeni Fere that died last month or last 2 months called for the release of MAZI NNAMDI Kanu. The likes of the chairman of Ohanaeze Ndigbo, Iwanyang, called for his release before he died. The likes of former Anambra State Governor Ezife called for the release of MAZI NNAMDI Kanu. The likes of Clark called for the release of MAZI NNAMDI Kanu. All these are people who have called for the release of MAZI NNAMDI Kanu, and they are all dead. So why is federal government actually drawing this matter, drawing the case? Meanwhile, watch the video, drop your opinion, and do not forget to share. I'll be right back.
Mohammed Ndarani Mohammed, senior advocate of Nigeria. I'm also the grand patron, One Nation Asuaju Support Group of Nigeria. Let me start by saying my advice to Mr. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, our dear President of Federal Republic of Nigeria, having watched what is happening in Nigeria in recent times, I felt the urge as a patriotic Nigerian to plead with the federal government to settle NNAMDI Kanu and other agitators matters out of court by setting up a formidable national committee of arbitration. In my opinion, the court may not be the solution of the above matter if lasting peace is to reign in the nation. Bringing this matter to the round table for intensive negotiation surely would engender the peace, harmony, and unity in diversity that we all have consistently craved. In a country with various distinct ethnicities like Nigeria, it is and ought to be an all-pervading preoccupation of everyone to seek ways of encouraging those things that will bring us closer together as a nation. This is even more so in the existing atmosphere where there is a mutual suspicions and widespread crisis of marginalization. Our dear President Bola Tinubu should therefore consider alternative dispute resolution mechanisms like arbitrations, cancellations, and mediation in some of these cases concerning our agitators in the country. ADR refer to any method of conflict resolution that take place outside the courtroom. It involves processes and techniques of conflict resolutions without litigations and empower parties to work together using a framework to amicably settle complex issues. Our dear President needs peace and unity to function optimally. Therefore, anything that will give him peace is highly welcome, and that is what we are seeking to see in this our dear country. Looking at the political atmospheres in Nigeria today, there is a palpable tension in the land with a huge portions of it having tribal and religious undertones. This could only provide uncomfortable foundations for the current festering and growing pocket of banditry, militancy, and other type of unrest. Political parties and gladiators are already aligned and realign because they felt that the interests of their people, regions, or religions are not being adequately protected. I can tell you for free, though, that most of them are actually aligned for their own selfish interests and not for the interests of the masses. They are simply taking advantages of the current uncertainties in the land. Resolving some of these matters that are in court can only help in sanitizing the atmosphere, since it is a fact that early resolution of a dispute will immensely help in healing old wounds and in nation building. It will also help in this instance in promoting peace and unity. That is what we need ultimately in this country today. We need peace, we need unity, we need to work together. We have to look at ourselves as we're all one, we're all brothers from indivisible and indissoluble nations under one God. It will also help in the instance case in promoting peace and unity. I can draw your attention to Section 17 of Federal Court Act and Section 174 of the 1999 Constitution as amended, provided that the parties can explore alternative options for both civil and criminal matters when it comes to situations of these natures in our dear countries. I, in my own opinion, believe that in getting last solution to our challenges facing in this country, we need to strictly adhere to what we call arbitration, mediation, and cancellations, where everybody will come together, put our opinions together, and work together as a one family. Like the treason matters involving Omoyele Sowore, leaders of revolutions, Now Movement, and the presidential candidate for 2023 elections, and also the terrorist cases against Bello Badejo, leaders of Miyetti Allah, Kaute Hori, both cases which the Nigerian government have withdrawn, which in my opinion is a very, very commendable for peace in this nation to reign. Because we believe that when two people are having disagreement in some certain areas of concept of life, the best option to do is to seek for peace, is to seek for unity, is to have what we call collective opinion of individual, and let us have a common basis for development of these dear nations. One thing that is certain is that it is never in public interest for cases to drag on interminably, especially such high-profile cases. They can only make a lot more long draw out the sentiments that lead to the institutions of the cases. Cases that last for years, sometimes even decades, can only surreptitiously or otherwise erode public confidence in the judicial system. Let us always remember that judiciary is generally regarded as the last hope of common man, which I personally believe. if we are to be perfectly honest, one of the major drawbacks is the snail pace at which some matters are disposed of in our courts in Nigeria today, notwithstanding all the effort that the justices have been put in place, which is very commendable. Since it is generally believed that justice delay is justice denied, this inordinate delay in our courts is the reason some people think twice before heading to the court to seek justice. Recall that Oliver Wendell Jr. once famously remarked that courts are court of law and not court of justice. So do you blame people when they appear skeptical of our law courts? I therefore urge President Tinubu, dear President of this country, to watch out for the little forces that spoil the vine while trying to hold Nigeria together as one indivisible nation. I advise that Nigerians should be patient with our dear President Tinubu Asiwaju. He met up an unjust society, and it is not easy to arrange a system that had already collapsed before the advent of his administration. It is clear beyond shadow of doubt that our President, President Tinubu, inherited unjust society. And when you inherited unjust society, it became pretty difficult or very cumbersome for you to play a magic within a while to manage the situations and get a desired result. We as Nigerians, we have to be very patient with our dear president to look inward and see how he can arrange unjust situations in met Nigerian ways. The problem of these countries are our few elites who put their interests on the first line charge instead of the interests of the masses. And that is why Nigeria is having snail speed movement in terms of development, in terms of all the challenges we are facing today. And we must have to tell ourselves the truth, and the truth must be told. Even if the leaders of the whole world today, let's say American president, Britain president, French president, France president, will come to Nigeria and be a president today, it cannot be easy for them to develop the way their countries are developing. Because in Nigeria, the scenario is different from what you operate and we always see in the West developed world. In the West developed worlds, there is what we call just society. And Irikoparo clearly stated that you can't build peace in an unjust society. For you to build peace in an unjust society, it takes the grace of God, it takes the peace. It takes a while for it to happen. And how it happens, it has to be through arbitration, mediation, and cancellations, and putting up all the parties that are aggrieved together and find a lasting solution to the grievances of each party and make directions as to how the future of the country is going to be governed in a peaceful, in a way that everybody that is a citizen of the country will enjoy his right of a citizens as a citizens of their nation, Nigeria. Nigerian problems are the few elites, just like what I said, who put their interests on the first line charge. I advise the president to avoid them and exploit all the mechanisms to settle for peace of Nigeria rather than seeking for prosecution of a matter that can be settled through mediation, arbitrations, and cancellations, and giving a lasting solution to the problems and challenges of these our dear nations. If Nigeria is peaceful, Tinubu will do well. That is my belief. I will advise the president to look inward to seek how to settle most of these pockets of agitations that have given rise to losses of lives and properties in Nigeria. Arbitration can bring rest to the East, in my own opinion and my understanding. Peace and rest to the wanton killing in the Middle Belt as well as other parts of the country. Simply put, the president should exploit all options available to succeed at this task, and his legacy as a unifier would have been solidly established and will last forever. My name is Mohammed Ndarani Mohammed, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Grand Patron of One Nation for Asiwaju Support Group. I'm an APC chieftain, I'm an APC card carrying member, and therefore, our president, I have hope in him that he will do well if we have peace. But what we need in Nigeria today is a situation where we have what we call national arbitration, cancellation, and mediation of so many issues that are challenging issues bothering these our nations. We are all brothers. We are all from same families. We are all from same ancestors. We are all from same aborigines. So I see no reasons why we have to be deploy our energy on something that we can sit at round table and support our president for the development of their nations. So we must have to obligate ourselves from few elites who put their own interest on the first line charge as against the interests of the masses. Truth must be told. We have to come together as a one nation and support our president and ensure that peace reign in Nigeria so that all of us will enjoy our citizenships that God has given to us naturally as one individuals and indivisible nations as a country. So I so much thank you for coming here today to come and start celebrating Salah with us. And may Almighty Allah bless all of us, bless our president, bless Nigeria. So we should be patient with our president. You will do well if there is a peace in the country.